Where would we put the cheetah?
I don't know. There, maybe put it on. Have it sit there, and we can. Yeah,
Okay.
they'll probably make it if you go there. All right, so we're live there, live here. Oh, you're gonna be careful going to the picture.
That's why.
Oh no, just come in low. Hey, there you are. And we are live. Excited to be here. Let's see, what's that? No questions. Let's start questions. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, there's Michelle. Michelle's here. We are doing a dual broadcast, I guess. I don't think I can slide over too much more. Can you? You can probably slide it a little bit this way. And we are not going to be able to interact too much with you guys on Instagram, but we will. Hopefully, you'll be able to say
your favorite
YouTube, or go on YouTube and join us there.
Talk to you on YouTube.
And I'm trying to see if there's a chat set up. I think like the chat is set up. And it looks like we are going. We got a couple people there. We got
Sizzle. Ooh, I love
everyone's
that
showing up.
Sizzle.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's showing up on
Like
Instagram.
House, Marley, hey girl.
So we are here to celebrate 300 episodes. We actually already aired our 300th episode, but now we are here officially doing it by hanging out with you guys and hopefully answering questions and just celebrating. We I was supposed to get champagne, but I forgot, so we have sparkling water instead. So here's our sparkling water.
I love sparkling water.
So
if it's not sparkling, it's not worth drinking.
No one's getting drunk today.
We're getting hydrated. Cheers.
Yeah, here's cheers. Yeah, to 300 episodes. Thanks, guys, so much for hanging out with us. And we are just let me hit record on our podcast because that probably should be recording now. And we are recording and coming live to you from the LashCast podcast studios here in Pasadena, California. We're excited to hang out with our family, celebrate 300 and almost 2 million downloads, by the way. By the first week in June, we will probably hit that 2 million mark, which is actually pretty insane.
Hey, Christine.
And hey, Christine's there. Awesome. So we're really just here, guys, to talk and hang out. I mean, we could just talk, but what we wanted to do is have you guys ask us questions, and then we will respond to those questions. And thank you.
Oh, thanks, Marley. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
On 300. Well, maybe we should start out instead of being like, "Hey, you have any questions?" Maybe we should opine about something.
Opine about? Go ahead.
Let's see.
I mean, unless there's been questions here and I didn't see any. Rachel's here. Oh, the beauty room. Hey, congrats on your podcast too. I've listened to the last couple episodes. It's been very good. So you're gonna do good. Oh, what am I doing here?
Okay.
I almost removed someone from the thing. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Not trying to remove people. I'm just trying to go through.
All right.
Let's see. We have like 6 people on YouTube and we got 15 in Instagram. So that's very cool. How are we doing? That's a good question. We're doing great. We're really excited and very blessed. And let's see who else is here.
More braid. She says, "How many pairs of glasses do you have, Paul?" We should count.
I have a lot. And it's mostly, it's not me. I'm not that, I had one pair for like maybe 20 years. I mean, I kept buying the same cheap pair over at Walgreens since 2011. I would just go there and I'd lose them, break them, and then I'd go there and get another one. But then Tuss came to me and says, "You know what, Paul, I'm sick of this.
I'm sorry, we got to do something about this."
Yeah. In fact, she's not happy about this set here.
I know. I actually didn't want to wear these because I think
these are my John Lennon glasses. If anyone knows, does anyone know who John Lennon is? I just want to know. Does anyone know who John Lennon is?
What are they supposed to do if they
just
know?
Type in the answer there. If you know who John Lennon is, you can give us let everyone impress everyone with your music knowledge.
Hey, Ocean Baby. Ocean Baby says yes, and thanks for following us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that they're John Lennon glasses, but it's like I don't know. I think that sometimes it can kind of give off a Monopoly Man vibe. So yeah. So I kind of
that's what I've always been going for. Monopoly Man. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, for the Beatles. Wow, It took a while for someone to get that one.
Thanks, Heidi.
Good job.
Heidi knows.
Heidi knows, but
Heidi's
also the
know.
Lashing Aquarius knew.
The Beatles.
She says, "I don't know." But
no, you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
But
there was a question you made. There's
the question was
what made you start the podcast, and do you remember the first one?
Yes, we do remember the very first
one.
one.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Do you want to talk about why we started?
Well, we started the podcast simply because, well, there's a bunch of reasons. I mean, I think the why behind it is because our industry before 2018 is when we started our podcast. The industry, for the most part, was pretty closed. I mean, there were some people begin to share details, sharing information, but it was still overall
It was
pretty
like,
closed.
you have to buy my program. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to tell you anything. You have to trust me and buy my stuff.
Or if you went to a conference, they would say, hey, let me tell you about myself.
And this is the work that I can do.
And by the way, if you want to learn about, buy my training. And we're like, oh my gosh, I'm sick of going to conferences. And Tuss was going to more me, and not learning anything and just being told you have to buy people's training to learn. And if you guys, I don't know how many people follow Gary Vee. He's kind of, I mean, he's still around and he's still very relevant. But back in the day, I was following him back before he blew up. I'll just say it. Back in 2013, 2012, 2013, 2014. And he was really talking about, you need to create content. You need to be a content creator. And I remember coming to Tuss saying, no, I think we just need to become a media company. While I love doing the salon, I realized if we really want to have impact, we need to become a media company. And what we can do is we can help change the culture by sharing things freely without expectation of
Can I add something to that as well?
Yeah.
The other reason why we decided to do it was because we noticed that there was really like one temperature in the lash community.
That's true,
and there was only one right way, according to the professionals, of how to do things. And I thought differently. I thought there are different ways to do bonds. There are different philosophies about allergic contact dermatitis or an allergy or an infection. There are different ways to skin a cat or put on lipstick, right? Or put your hair extensions on. There's different ways to do it. There's not just one.
No.
And
it's not a moral dilemma, right? This is a matter of preference.
When we thought, we should just share our opinions, you know, because
and we have very different opinions. If you follow us, we generally, not to be difficult, we're not trying to just be a jerk, but we do think differently or approach things differently than most people in our industry. And that's because Tuss, it's all Tuss. I mean, Tuss is very much a deep thinker, and she really loves to talk about the deep things and question everything and ask why. And she has doctor friends and scientist friends. So she goes around and asks them questions, and they go, no, that's not true. Why are you saying that? So she began to learn early. Back in 2006, she began to learn early that what she was being taught by other people wasn't true.
There's different ways to look at it. And I thought I would really like to invite others into this conversation. And I think, so there's the thing that unites us all is that we're lash artists. We don't have to believe exactly the same thing. We don't have to have the same
agree
style.
On everything. No,
we don't have to have the same technique or the same brand. What unites us is that we do lashes for a living. I mean, we make women and men look beautiful by extending their eyelashes. That's what unites us. So we're like cool, like we're all together and we can hear different points of view. We just wanted to be a different point of view.
Yeah.
And so that's why we started.
So open the gatekeeping and let more people learn about lashes without having to pay tons of money. And then secondly, we'll keep it there first.
Wait, I just wanted to say that Lash Ocean Baby is lash fluent.
It's lash. What does that mean?
She's just a different name.
Oh, she's all different.
Hey, girl.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Sorry to distract you.
So the two pillars were we want to open up the gatekeeping and allow people to learn without having to pay. Yes, our hope is by you listening and learning from us, you'll eventually begin to support us and want to take our trainings and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all about building trust. And that's how we do it.
But even if it doesn't happen, it's like our goal also is just to grow the industry and we're in a phase where we're thinking about legacy and what kind of environment do we want to leave behind. And at the beginning we saw lashes are new and we don't have the benefit of having people who've gone before us, right? So we know that when it's our time to exit,
next week, by the way.
No.
Okay.
When it's our time, kids get older, they grow with their seasons, right? And it happens before you know. And so we're kind of in a phase of life where we're thinking about that next step. And we definitely wanted to leave the lash industry a lot more mature and grounded than when we first started. We want to be able to point people to directions on where they can get help with things like business ownership and leadership and how did you read a profit and loss, all those basic stuff. We wanted we want the ground to be a lot more fertile and soft. So, we've kind of done that hard work of breaking that ground.
No, I think we and there were other people. It wasn't just us. There was a change in the 2017 to 2019, a shift in the industry of people wanting to share and help others more. And they begin to see that you give value. And when you give value, the money will follow, right? I mean, the idea is to serve people and take care of them first. And then, and then later you can do things like, hey, can you pay if you want to take a training, you want to do this? And you do it that way. The old model was like, hey, I'm just a really amazing person, so give me money. And it's like, oh, that's really, really that broken way of doing it. So we did that. So the gatekeeping, and then just really trying to build up our industry and support people and share different perspectives. Because again, Tess has been told you're a bad lash artist. She's been told that you do things really like you're just a bad person.
And I'm like, okay, I do things differently.
Yeah.
But here's why. And I think that there's a compelling reason, for those of you who want to partake in the way that I do it. You don't have to believe in it or not. It's not like faith or anything like that, but you can look at things and think that's logical. That makes sense. I'd like to take this bit and I'll take this bit and leave what doesn't make sense to you. But I think that there's more than one way to do something.
There are. And again, like we said, it's always a matter of preference. Like, do I like chocolate? Do I like vanilla? Ice cream? It's not a moral dilemma. A lot of people want to create in the lash industry. There's this big moral dilemma.
Damaging lashes.
We won't even get the damaging lashes today.
Well, but Marley had a question, and she said, well, how do you feel knowing that you're both the main source of this wonderful lash community web that many of us have grown and found so many opportunities? Honestly, Marley, that is like the wind beneath our wings. I mean, that's like we decided to get into this to help people grow, and then to see it like actually taking roots, like people like pollinating each other and then creating this new fruit. And it's like an offering to other lash artists that can take it and eat it and be nourished by it.
Oh, wow, this is like very romantic.
It's the best.
We brought food into the equation.
No,
awesome.
It's like something that's so organic. I mean, like people like LashCon, Lash Bash, these lash events, people come and they meet each other and they're inspired and they're changed by it and they grow. And that's like the best thing that's happening like organically. And it's really cool.
No, we've seen so many people from LashCon. And then I later find out that, like, in fact, 2 speakers this year that I asked to be part of LashCon, I didn't know they had been to LashCon. I've been following them on Instagram and said, well, they're doing some great work. And then I emailed them, say, hey, I'd love to have you be part of LashCon. I love what you're doing. And they're like, oh, yeah, I love LashCon. I've been there last year or 2 years ago or whatever. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Like, of course you are.
Of course.
You're a mover and a shaker and you're a smart cookie.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I feel like we've drawn our tribe. Our tribe is very much the type of people who like to share, who like to support others, who are not snarky, who aren't cliquish, who aren't about just my way or the highway, or very much like, hey, we allow anyone into this party. We're a big tent.
We're united by lashes.
Yeah, lashes are.
And okay, so Beauty Works by Carla says, will you be at the IECSC beauty show? And if so, if I come and say hi, will you become friends?
Of course.
Of course. And so,
and yes, we will be. It's an IBS IECSC show in Vegas, June 25th, 26th. It's a Sunday, Monday. And
anybody else that are our friends here, look out for Carla with the K, and she's Beauty Works. So if you see her, say hi on behalf of LashCast and welcome her to the family.
Yeah, no, definitely come by. And by the way, come to our party. We have a party at the Sahara Hotel Sunday night on the 25th. Us and Shelby from Lash Boss Radio, who also, by the way, has been doing this for 5 years. She literally started like a month or two after us. We launched in January. I think it was like 22nd or 28th. In the 2018, and she came out, I think, March of 2018. So literally, we basically started at the same time. But anyhow, we're gonna be hosting a party with her and in Vegas at the IBS show, IECSG show, and there's gonna be like 30-40 lash companies, I think, there. So a lot of the companies that you'll see at LashCon also be there. So it'll definitely be worth coming and hang out. Let's see, we have Chris
in the house. Hey, be delicious.
Let's see here. We have Crystal
Cook Artistry. I appreciate you guys so much for your science outlook and breaking the industry up. Woohoo! Even if it's hard sometimes to retain your brain or retrain your brain.
Or retain. Yeah, retain or retrain.
Hard to retain the brain.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is Tess taught me this, because when we would go to trade shows and classes, I often would be that kid that's at the back of the room and just be quiet, not doing it. Yeah, Tess is the person in the front row the whole time raising her hand going, I have a question, like to the point where it's almost annoying. And so now we go stuff. We're always in the front row. And I've learned. I'm still not the big. I don't ask a lot of questions, but she loves asking questions to speakers and such. So that's where we get
You
all
gotta
that
ask the
from.
questions. You gotta get what you came for. You
And
gotta get it.
And we've also been humbled, and that's one of the reasons why we really are always eager learning. And we'll change our views on things even now. If we find out there's something's wrong or we're not getting it, we got the facts wrong, we will change what we believe. We're not just here to say it's this way or never again. Anyone else, we are willing to change. I think that's important if you want to grow. And actually, one of the things that makes life fun. Let's see, man. Please, okay.
Is it more Barrett?
Let's see.
More bread.
Can't wait to see you. Oh, yeah. This weekend, we're going to be in New York this weekend. So we have Lash Bash in New York as well as our training.
And it's going to be at Pat and Steph's restaurant, which is like tiki themed. So
what do you see coming next to the lash industry from, what direction?
The beauty room.
Yeah.
I think a lot more. I mean, in the States, those pro-made or those pre-mades are super hot. And I think they're going to continue to gain momentum and a wider acceptance. I love them. I think they're fabulous.
Tess has been a big pre-made fan since really almost 2018 is when you started using them. I mean, they weren't as good back there. 2017,
no, they had like a wide base.
Yeah, they were
get gummy because the adhesive that they used was also water soluble. So but
they've improved. And now
they're super amazing. Yeah.
So I'm going to predict this. This is a dark one. This is not so much fun. I actually think we're sadly going to see a lot of companies either close down, and I'm talking about lash companies, because as much as I love all our friends in the lash industry, and I don't want anyone to fail, I hope it can continue to grow. I really do think there's a limit to how many lash brands we can actually support and people really thrive, right? I mean, I think everyone can kind of get by, but I don't think people want to do that. So we might see a shifting in the next year or two where we see brands closing. Some will either buy out other brands, or some brands sadly will leave the industry. And that is very sad. Thinking about that, it's not something I hope for. I would love to see infinite growth, but while I think there's enough eyeballs for lash artists, I don't think we've exasperated the markets in the eyeball world for lash artists. I do feel like we might be reaching a certain maximum when it comes to lash businesses who sell products. Now, I do think some brands, if they're really smart, might move more to the regional model, like saying, hey, I'm just going to be a regional brand. Like I'm really going to network and connect with people locally and provide value there. But as far as being a national brand that's huge and all that, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. I mean, yes, there will be new brands. Yes, there will be new things coming because they always do. We're really, I'd say, in the fourth stage of the lash industry at this point. Fourth wave, we'll call it right now.
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Well, okay. Oh, why not?
It's not that interesting though.
No, it's not.
Okay, no.
Unless there's an overwhelming support. Please tell me your thoughts, Paul.
That's boring. Okay,
no.
I actually wanted to say something. Ask Lacey.
Wait, one more thing I was going to say about the lash industry. One more thing. Where we're going. I think right now we're moving obviously into the more natural. We went through the Hunger Games a little while ago, and people were getting crazier and crazier with lashes. And I do think there is going to be a push, especially if you want high-end clients, a more natural, classic look.
The high-end client, or the one who is older, has that income that you want. The good client, they typically are a little bit more conservative in their approach. They're not the ones that want like the colored lashes and the glam lashes because they're not partying all night. They're going to, society events or just having tea with friends. And they want something that's a little bit more authentic. So if you're able to nail subtlety, because we all can do a big lash look. That's one of the first things that we learned how to do. But being able to do subtle and to deliver impactful but yet natural, that's going to be the new that's the new sexy lashes. Sexy, yes. All right, but I want to get back to Lacey.
We have a shout out over here. I know, Tessie, you're over here. I'm over here.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Real quick, we have to give a shout out to Sierra Beauty, Raquel of Sierra Beauty. Why?
She bought a badge.
She bought a badge. That means she gave us some money.
Sierra Beauty girl. Raquel,
yeah, I mean, didn't have to. I didn't. We're not here for that, but thank you. That's so sweet. You guys are amazing. Okay.
Lacey,
go ahead.
Lacey, she was one of our Lashy Awards winners last year.
And we're going to see her this weekend in New York.
We are going to see her.
And she has a lash fan.
And I have a question for Lacey. We just did a podcast. It hasn't been released yet. but it's on, I think, the allergy. And I remember Lacey coming up after LashCon and talking to Dr. Kirchhoff and Dr. Stout and talking about the one of the things that helps you, because I know that you have a really bad allergy. And Lacey uses like a gel that absorbs the formaldehyde in the air, which I never found any benefit from it, but I know she gets a benefit from it, and there's a couple other people. And I wanted to ask you, what is that? What brand is it, and where did you get it?
I
So
know
if you
there's a
could
few
type
brands out there, but
into the
give a shout out.
notes, that would be great. And okay, Morbarid, she says, any news on the Clubhouse?
Clubhouse, yeah, that's LashCast Clubhouse. That's supposed to be our coaching training program. What we're doing right now is we're working on fixing up our studio so that we can actually broadcast from here.
Yes,
we're going to be buying 4 cameras so that we will make everything video. It'll be kind of like Joe Rogan. Is what we're hoping for.
And we want it to be cuter than what you see here.
Instead of a white wall. I don't know. It's going to be cute, but it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. It's going to have a guy vibe too. You're looking.
No, I don't think so.
I don't want just pink room.
No,
it can't be pink.
No, it's not going to be like pink. I mean, it's going to have some pink element. It's not going to be like girly, but like, I don't know if
it's gonna have neon like you see over here.
Yeah, but that can be like girl too.
Yeah, well, that's pink neon.
Like
so it's
boy
cool.
stuff is like what your little action figures.
Yeah, I got my toys over there. I can bring those and put those back here for you guys to see.
Those aren't nice to see. Nobody wants to see.
Everyone wants to see toys.
Anyway,
everyone loves toys. Come on.
So first we're gonna do the YouTube channel, and that's gonna be part of Clubhouse, and we're gonna have coaching and stuff like that. So that's coming. It really thanks for asking.
But yeah, so the idea is it's gonna be a coaching and really content. We're gonna provide you a lot of content. And what you'll do is we'll continue to do our podcast like this. We'll actually be doing like this, where you can see us, and we'll have guests live and online, and then we will. Also, what we're going to it's kind of like a paid wall. You want all the content, you just have to pay a small fee, Clubhouse fee, which is like $67. And you get all this extra content plus live Q&As that we'll do weekly, where you can, and we'll bring special guest speakers. And I think we're going to have a book club. And so we'll be reading some books together and talking and breaking those down. And it's so there'll be a lot of extra stuff, but we will continue to do the podcast. You can see it live. But if you want all of the podcasts, you got to pay the small monthly fee, subscription fee to get in, and then you get all that. So that's coming. I mean, right now, if we get the studio set up in May, we'd like to maybe launch in June. We'll see. That's the plan. It could be July. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Lacey says it's the allergy pot from iMagic.
One of our sponsors, iMagic. Yes.
And speaking of sponsors, Jody Harrison from Prolong.
Hey, Jody's here.
Hello, girl. And yes, hello from the Prolong team. Prolong is a wonderful sponsor too. They're also
they've been with us 3 years now.
So generous with their amazing Prolong wash.
And Jody is going to be speaking at LashCon twice. In fact, she's a powerhouse to listen to and pay attention to because she knows her stuff. She's awesome. So
all right. So Marley's asking, how can I apply? Are you talking about the Lash Awards? Is that what you mean?
But yeah, well, look at what she's asking before that.
Glam.
Let's see.
Anyway, the Lash Awards, you can apply by going on the LashCon.
No, you can't apply for it yet. Go apply now. No, the Lash Awards aren't up yet. No. Okay. Hopefully in June. The goal would be to have that ready by June, maybe late June, maybe by the time IBS comes around.
Maybe she's asking how to apply the gel. Actually, the gel isn't something that you apply. It's just like it looks like a candle, like a gel candle, and you just open the top and you put it next to you while you're working. And what it's supposed to do is that it absorbs formaldehyde, right? Okay, so we all know that the adhesive does not have formaldehyde in it.
For our group. So you keep going about the gel.
It doesn't have formaldehyde in it, but what does have formaldehyde is the anionic, it's a byproduct of the anionic polymerization, which you cannot get around. There is no, and it's so small, right? But some people are sensitive to it. Like if you're burning a candle in the house, burning the candle actually does produce formaldehyde. It's
my gosh,
normal combustion.
It's horrible.
Actually produced, and it's produced by exhaust from the cars. Anyway, so when the adhesive binds with the moisture, it gives off a small, tiny little
burst
particle of formaldehyde.
A byproduct.
That's what's actually causing you to once, because it feels burny and fumy, that's the formaldehyde. So anyway, the pot tends to, it's supposedly, purportedly, but evidently it does work for many people, Lacey included, is that it absorbs that rogue formaldehyde molecule and keeps you from being less stuffy. So
All right.
let's see.
So what she was saying is apply for what was it?
Oh, Hakeem and Ashley are all in.
What?
Is it the Clubhouse?
Oh, Clubhouse. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, hopefully everyone. I mean, we love to be honest. It's gonna be have coaching and training in there. We'd love to make into a streaming channel. That's what we want for Lashes. Like, we want to make this into a place where you can come every day and there'll always be new content for you to learn, talk about industry stuff. We're going to talk to a lot of the brands and try to get them to give us like inside scoop on when things are being released and what's going on. So we'll see. It's a big idea that has going to have a small beginning, and we'll see if we can grow it to where we want to. So it's exciting.
I want to say hi to Christy Lee.
Yep, Christy Lee's
and blessings to you and your family. They are a military family, so thank you so much for serving. She once sent me this patch, and it's in my cupboard, and every time I open it to do work, I see it. It's a military patch, like her husband got it, and it's like got a snake on it, and it says "F around and find out." I just always get a kick out of that. So thank you, Christy Lee.
Do you think having candles while lashing can give you an allergic reaction to your client?
They can increase your irritant
contact, but not contact dermatitis. Like you won't get it won't cause the adhesive to be more.
No, it will not cause the adhesive. But if the client is super allergic, the essential oils and sometimes the candles. I mean, the thinnest skin on the body is on the eyelids, and so anything that's irritating in the air can theoretically.
We actually had one of our team members actually had to run out and use an EpiPen because she was so allergic to our candles. She was
super allergic to the Bed Bath & Beyond candles. I mean, sometimes people will say you want ones that are more natural. Those are kind of severe cases, but the answer is yes, it can cause some problems. And as well as for the essential oil, because those essential oils can land on the surface, and because it's so thin there, could cause an issue for some people. So if you have somebody super irritated, or you might want to turn that off for them.
Someone asks, I'm so excited. Do you find it's helpful just for lash lift artists?
Are you talking about the gel?
I'm not sure.
That's probably not going to be super helpful for that, because the lash lift is ammonium thioglycolate, which breaks the bonds in the hair, like for perming solution, and that process does not, as to my knowledge, give off formaldehyde.
Lacey's saying no too.
I don't think so.
Right here. Do you ever see yourself branding your own line of supplies? No.
There's so many good people doing it already.
Yeah, I mean, I just said a bunch of companies are probably be buying out or closing down other lash companies. So I don't want to join into that mix. By the way, I think, and there are so many good people already, right? There's so many
from Island Lash. There's Michelle from PLA.
Everyone, there's so many. The list, we're going to leave someone out by not.
Yeah. You guys are our friends. Beautylicious.
Yeah.
Great products, right?
Yeah. There's enough.
So
I feel like there's
people
enough.
Doing good stuff. We would not be that great.
We like supporting the industry, and I feel like if we go into brands like that, we will now become a competitor, and then that would kind of wreck our place in this world. And we love serving and helping encourage lash artists as well as brands and other people in the industry. So we found ourselves in a really unique place, and I think by going into products, I think if we did, we'd probably kill it, because I think we have such a loyal following.
No, I'd rather include everybody and have LashCon and have great training, and then you guys can come around and everyone can be friends, right?
Someone, Indie Lash Studio says, I really appreciate all the knowledge you shared. Back in the beginning, no one wanted to share. The only place was a blog called Wake Up Your Makeup.
You guys remember that?
Yeah, and it was so exciting to find your podcast. Wake Up Your Makeup that was where all the OGs were.
Feeling like an outsider when I went to conferences, when I spoke up, and because I did things so differently, people were like, "Who's this chick?" And it's like, I remember Christine. We went to that one conference, and it just like I felt so on the outside. I'm like, I never want anybody else to feel like this, because none of it. We shouldn't be trying to like one up each other. because we all do the same thing. We should be friends, like, because we all know the same pain points. Like the clients don't clean their lashes, or they're snoring. I mean, not that that's a problem, but you know how the ones when they're trying to stretch their legs, having a self yoga time when you're doing their lashes, like we know what that feels like, right? Anyway. So
well, let's keep going through. We're really behind on Instagram. There was more people there, so we'll
okay.
get back to Marley here in a second. But it says Lux Lash House says, I've got those gels from Lash Artistry called Freshies. So Lash Artistry also has these.
Freshie is with an IE.
IE, not with a Y. Yeah, IE. I saw your studio. This is from Crystal Cook Artistry. I saw your studio on the story. Such a great and large space. I'm assuming you mean our current space. It's actually, it's actually, I mean, it's just me and Tuss working here. So it's actually,
it's nice because I've got my little room, and then we've got a little waiting area, and we've got a little kitchen area, and then we got this podcasting area.
And this area is where we're going to change into the studio, where we'll be able to have like 3 desks here. We'll be with a wide angle lens. And then we're going to have like 3 other cameras, so we can shoot people at different parts of the table. And then we will, and then we also have our just giant TV here we can use for stuff, for illustrations. Actually, there's a lot of toys that I'm excited to go buy, because I'm all about geeky stuff.
I know. Wax that ash. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Hey, wax that ash.
That's great.
Just like Kiss My Ash. Have you seen that one? She's so cute.
Are the gels for the fumes or for the artist or client?
They're for both. Anybody who's sensitive. But I find that I know that Lacey uses it for her because she just needs to breathe. But anybody who's kind of sensitive, I think it mostly helps people who have a known allergy to it. I mean, I used them for years. Not years. I used it for a year. I used Fula is another brand that used to make one.
They probably still have it.
And I didn't see any different. It
didn't affect you, but you didn't have allergy.
An allergy to the cyanoacrylate. There are some people who do, and that's like the missing thing that works for them. I always recommend the Rowenta air filter. Rowenta. You can get Rowenta with a WENTA. And then also if you have a fan that blows away from you into the Rowenta, that's helpful.
Yeah.
And I know that Lacey swears by the gel things too. So
I mean, you do all that combined, the gel combined with
it will not stop allergic contact dermatitis on the client if they're
actually allergic.
They're going to have it.
Yeah.
It's just something that will help you breathe
from irritations and
that have a hard time with it. So give it a try.
Lashbox LA. This is from Atlanta Beauty Designer. Said Lashbox LA has a gel that absorbs formaldehyde also. And also Lion Lash. Oh, that's a cute name.
With the Y.
Lion Lash. I like that. I find them pretty similar to each other. It's probably the same product. I mean, as I think a lot of you know, with lash brands, I mean, there's only a few manufacturers out there, and then everyone just buys for them and then and packages it. So not a few. There's quite a few manufacturers, but I'm just saying they sell a lot of similar products.
You know what lions I love? I love the Chinese lions.
She likes food dogs.
And I love food dogs. I used to think that they were so ugly and lame, but I love them now. We live in Arcadia, and there's a lot of Asian people in our community, and they have food dogs outside the doors. And I've become to love them. I love food dogs anyway.
The Lashing Aquarius says, are those formaldehyde absorbs beneficial when most adhesives give off 1 part formaldehyde per million particles in the air? So small.
Smart cookie.
Yeah, you know your stuff.
Yeah, you know your stuff. You're right. It's such a small amount. And I didn't think that it made a difference for me. I didn't think it made a difference for the client. However, talking to people that have problems, like Lacey's one of them, doing the work, getting stuffed up, and that's the only thing that makes a difference for her. So if it makes a difference for you personally, I suggest it. I never saw it in making a dent on what's happening with the clients, but for those people that it works for, if you are lashing and your nose is running, you get a sore throat sometimes, your eyes burn, you might want to consider that. But I think for most people that aren't sensitive to it, I don't think it makes a difference. So
all right,
question, my smart cookie.
Here's a question from Beauty Works by Carla. It says, so what got you into the lash world? I know you've been in it for a long time, but what made you go the lash route in the beauty industry?
So when I first saw lashes, I was in beauty school. It was 1993.
1973.
No, 1993. It still was the dark ages. Many of you might not have even been born.
Yeah.
But we're learning beauty.
Cheers, by the way. I'm gonna
Lash,
have a drink again
lashes
of
and,
water.
And so the instructor, you know how beauty school is, they just give you a supply and they're like, go learn it on your own, right?
Yeah.
And so instead of a latex adhesive that you're supposed to give, they gave us a bottle of Ardell. It looked like it was 30 years old. It was all crusty and, yellowed and everything like that. But they're like, this is the lash glue. Go and have at it. And so I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm like putting it on people. People were lining up. All my other fellow students were like, Tess, this is great. I'm like, yeah, look at how amazing it is. Because they were clusters. I mean, they were like polyester clusters, with the ends cut off.
My favorite.
But they looked great, right? But just a week later, everyone's like lining up and being like, "Oh my gosh, my eyes are hurting." Why? Because they're not designed to go on one lash at a time. There were clusters, and I just put it wasn't a cyanoacrylate, it was a solvent evaporation. It was like airplane model glue. It smelled so bad, and I didn't know how to remove it. I mean, that part wasn't talked to in beauty school. Remember, we were just thrown to the wolves. So I thought to myself, rather incorrectly, that, the products just aren't good. And that's what a lot of people think when they've got a bad set of lashes. They're like, these products are cheap. It's not the product, it's the way they're applied. So I packed it in tucked it away and said, maybe one day when there's better products out there, then I'll get into lashes. Fast forward 2005, I went to a beauty show at Long Beach. And I saw lavish lashes, and there was also Nova Lash, and
Extreme, right? Was Extreme there too?
I just saw Lavish at the time, and I went straight there, and I was like plunked on my money. I'm like, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for, and that's how I got started. And the reason why I knew it was going to be such an amazing service is that because everybody looks better with lashes.
Even me.
They look more beautiful. They look amazing, right? I would rather not have nails, right, than not go without your lashes, right? And that's how a lot of people feel. So I just knew it was going to be big. So that's why I went into the lash world.
Yeah. And then I came to her in 2011. Well, I was with her in the beginning. Like, she was mobile for like a few months before we got started with a spot.
I was mobile because we were so poor. We didn't have money to.
Yeah, I was a filmmaker, so I made no money.
We were struggling.
And I basically would carry all this equipment and gear into the space that she was in. And I'd go to Starbucks, I was self-employed at the time, working in video. And so I would just go there and work in a coffee shop while she took care of the client, and she would give them a facial and then often free lashes, right? You just say, well, by the way, I'm going to do a second service on you for free just so you can try it out.
Yeah. And so basically after the first 3 months, we were able to cobble enough money together.
Because she got busy quick.
Put my pennies together and then put down a deposit, and oh my gosh, I'm like, I'm in business. I'm a professional, right? Yeah. But
2006, she moved into her space.
But at the same time, it was like I was learning as I went. Like, I was never taught how to do a fill. No one taught you how to do that. I just had to, and
Tess likes to think that you are the one that came up with the term fill too, right?
Well, I like to think that I contributed to it.
Yeah, right? 2006. No, people were calling. What were they calling them? Relash. I think relash. There was no term. So Tess, because nails were as a fill, so she called it a fill.
So yeah, I'm sure that there's other people.
There are probably other people with similar ideas, but Tess definitely was one of the initial people.
Because Howard, people didn't even know what it was. Right?
I mean, there were probably a whole whopping 5 other people in all LA doing lashes back in those days, right? There weren't that many. It was like no competition, but then also no one knew what lashes were.
The first wave of lash companies were people that sold to professionals, and they were not necessarily lash professionals themselves. And you had to either buy their training so that you could then have the privilege of buying their products. The second wave of lash suppliers, distributors were people that were actual lash artists, and they knew the pain points of doing lashes every day, which the other companies, the old guard, didn't. Sometimes some of them didn't even hire beauty professionals to train.
Gasp.
And so I think that second wave was super successful because they knew the pain points of the lash artists, and they were able to give information away without thinking, because they knew that if more people are exposed to lashes, they're going to be buying the product and that kind of thing. So
and then when I got really, I was helping her begin with like move. I helped, I would do all her back end stuff, so she would take care of the clients. And then in 2011, a manager we had hired robbed us basically. And so Tuss came to me and said, you know what? your film career is kind of not going anywhere. No, she didn't say that, but it wasn't going anywhere to the point where we could really say we can rely on this as a great source of income. So I decided to join her and said, please manage our salon, help me, because I don't really particularly like managing. I like doing lashes. You can come in, help manage, work with front desk and all that. So there, I got in 2011 and I've been in now, since then. So I full time. I was kind of like a lash supporter before that, right?
Yeah, you're a lash supporter. Okay, so Morbird has a question about the cleanser that I use to prep the lashes before applying. My favorite cleanser to do this is the OcuSoft Platinum. I don't know if you want to reach over there. I can't do it because I'm not wearing any pants.
And she literally is not. What do you want me to get right now?
The OcuSoft so I can show people.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Whatever. So the Ocus, you don't have to.
I'm wearing pants, by the way.
I'm like, I want to wear this shirt, but I forgot to bring pants. So anyway, you guys are my friends. I can say that to you. So it's an ocular cleanser, and it cleanses the meibomium glands. It cleanses the lashes. Here it is. You can get this on Amazon. It's about $20.
Our radio listening audience can't see that, but
I'm holding up a bottle of OcuSoft Lid Scrub Plus Platinum. And this is an eyelid cleanser for moderate to severe conditions. It reduces the appearance of redness. I love this product because you can actually leave it on. But Morbird asked the question, if the cleanser only lifts the dirts and oils and then rinsing removes them from the canvas, so if you don't rinse, how does that work? Very, very good question. And you too, my dear, are a smart cookie for thinking about that. How this does it is that any debris does need to come off, like the makeup, and that actually gets transferred to your micro swab. I like to use a micro swab, and I like to get into the lash line. So you put this on, and this is the medium that you use to lift the dirt and the oils, and it comes off onto the brush right here. But the reason why you don't need to rinse it is because it has like an antiseptic quality, so it actually kills bacteria. It also has ingredients in it that reduce inflammation, redness, erythema, those kinds of things, and they're kind of like medicinal. It's like almost like an over-the-counter.
Does it double as cough syrup?
No, it doesn't double as cough syrup.
Shoot.
But it conditions. So in some ways it's designed to be left on the eyelid. It cleans and helps open up those glands. So you want it to stay there because that's when it does its magic. It has the anti-inflammatory, the anti-redness, the anti-stingy feeling, and it's got like certain kinds of lipids in it, and it keeps it on there. But if there's a lot of gunk on there, that does need to come off. So sometimes it's not enough to just do one, especially if they're kind of dirty, right? You can see there's still crust on there. There's still barnacles on there. So you continue to just pump more out onto the towel. Use your little micro swab, dip it in there, and just get that in. So that stuff is coming off onto the brush, and you can see it's soiled. So good question, my smart cookie. All right.
By the way, Michael from Strategies, I don't know if he's still here, says more toys and games in the studio. Congrats on 300. Thank you. Yes. More toys. I need more toys.
They're always like ugly.
I know they're not. I have an alien creature over here from the movie Alien. He's made out of bolts and like chains.
My point,
it's so
exactly.
cool. It's so cool. Like I got from Comic-Con last year. Anyhow, that said, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. By the way, Michael is from Strategies. One of we are big fans of Strategies. And love to see. I'm actually excited to see a lot of you lash artists who have salons have been talking and working with them. Good for you. You guys are smart cookies. Yeah, Lacey is with them. Yeah, team-based. Shelby from Lash Boss Radio, she is, and lots of other people. So good stuff. Let's keep going here. Love how geeky you both are. Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, geeky's that's us. Sheet, right? Yeah, that's it. Lacey's lash aesthetic supply. Go ahead.
The artist, especially because we sit next to the adhesive all day. Yes, if you're sensitive to it, it can help you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, going through.
Like I said, though, it's not going to prevent.
Hey, April Meese is in the house. She says, congrats on 300 episodes. Thank you, April. She's spoken at LashCon. She's a great coach. She does a lot of good work. Let's see. I trained with Nova Lash back in 2012. That's some Crystal Cook artistry. Yeah. Nova Lash is one of the OGs.
It's one of the
a lot of people train with them.
The gold standard at the time. I used the Nova Lash glue and I loved it. at the time.
Oh, here's a good question. Lash Brow Art asks, how do you deal with blepharitis? I feel lashes are getting finer and seem to shed out a lot.
Yes, if blepharitis will cause that for sure.
Will cause shedding?
It will cause shedding.
Oh, but the smaller lashes don't cause blepharitis.
The blepharitis can lead to smaller lashes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it can lead to smaller lashes. It's not so much the weight of the lashes, the lash extensions, it's the health of the meibomian glands. So blepharitis is inflammation of the upper eyelid, right? We've got two lids, right? The upper and the lower. And then if you know, what we frequently call the water line.
And if you're like a lizard, you've got a third one.
Yeah, you do. Okay. But anyway, that water line is called the margin. And on the margin,
finally get to see your face, by the way, where you get mad at me.
Bumps, tiny little openings. They're little, not bumps. They shouldn't be bumps. If they're bumps, that's a stage
it's a sign
of blepharitis. They're tiny little dots. You know, you're doing your clients and you're noticing them, especially the young and healthy ones. They're like tiny little pinpoint dots, basically. And they produce meibomian stuff.
It's like a little puppet.
Stupid. People are trying to listen.
I'm sorry. People on the radio or listening are like, what the heck is going on?
Taking the tape dispenser, which is a gold pug, and
it's a Frenchie,
like
actually.
A puppy.
But
puppet.
Yeah, sorry.
So anyway, you've got these glands that produce meibum, and that stuff is super, super important. It's amazing. We just think of this as like a piece of skin, but it's super dynamic. And every time you blink, it disperses this special solution, the special oil that not only has immune properties, it kills viruses and bacteria, but it also keeps the eye hydrated and lubricated so that the tear film doesn't evaporate. Okay, now in healthy people, it looks like olive oil. It's liquid, but and when it gets unhealthy, it gets solid, like shortening. And if it's shortening, it can't come out of those little openings. So it gets backed up. So one of the ways that we see that back up is that the eye starts getting red because the first line of defense is that tear film. And that redness
is a sign your eyes are actually irritated.
The margin gets red.
I had something to say finally.
There's sometimes bumps that you see over it. Looks like kind of like a pimple. That is like a capping of the meibomian glands because there's a dysfunction with the way that those glands are performing. So the skin cell, if you think about it, it's the same as the skin. If there's a impaction in the follicle, the oil, it's not. It can lead to a pimple. Not that it gets like a pimple. Actually, it can get, and that's kind of what a sty is, or a hordeolum. It's an impacted meibomian gland.
Which, by the way, is what a lot of people will sometimes get a client will say, "Oh, your lashes gave me a sty." Not possible, right?
And even if it's the day after they had the service, I didn't have the sty then. It's like, well, the sty isn't caused by the lashes. It's caused by internal obstruction
of the meibomian gland.
Meibomian gland, and it can get red and inflamed, and it can look like there's white stuff in it. There is. That's the meibum, and it doesn't have anywhere to go because the opening is closed. Yeah. And so if that area is not getting the oil that it needs, the skin gets super flaky. It's not getting the right lipids, and it's like dandruff, right? It's like dry skin on the face. And what happens is that really impacts the lash health. A lifetime of this can cause scarring on the meibomian, on the margin. It gets thicker. You'll see it in like your 80-year-old clients that come in, and yes, we do have some of those. It's thicker. Those lashes tend to be super short because a lifetime, like 2 decades, 3 decades of this really does impact the lash health. So yes, a long answer to the question, does blepharitis stunt lash growth? Yes, it does, which is one of the reasons why you tell your clients it's super important to wash them because it does preserve the health.
More so than heavy lashes.
More so than heavy lashes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Good stuff. Let's keep going through it. Let's see if we can catch up. We can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Well, I can hear them. Someone else says they can hear us. So okay, it's not us.
Peace at Lash. Peace at Lash. Cute name. Peace at Lash.
So sorry. Maybe I mean, there are a bunch of people here. I don't think they'd be listed here. I hope you figured it out.
I hope you figured out.
Keep going through. Lots of okay. And that's Chrissy Lashes. That's cool. Talking about how she likes it. Let's see. Keep going. This is a cool
Paul, your
the-
jokes are pretty.
oh, thank you.
Good.
My new favorite lash artist in the world. It's
Instamira.
It's
Myra?
Demira. It's Demira.
No,
Instamira. Instamira. Yeah.
That's a great name.
It has a snap to that name. I like it. You're my new favorite lash artist, by the way. Do you guys both do lashes? Yes, I do.
No, he
No?
does not.
No?
You know what? I have never had him try.
I should.
We should do that. That would be really funny.
By the way, if you're on Instagram, but we are looking at YouTube. In case you're looking, why is Tuss only looking that way? It's because she's talking to our audience on YouTube, but our audience on Instagram is bigger. So maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's so hard. We'll just look at both, and we've never done this where we had both. So no, I don't do lashes. We've talked about like us doing a whole thing where I learned to do lashes.
I think we're going to put him in the hot seat. I didn't know he's going to even have a hard time picking up those tweezers.
Yeah.
I know you are.
I'm a natural. I'm so good. I'll do it in one shot. I'll do a full set in an hour. Okay.
These are words.
Hey, oh, wow. Okay. See, Ashley says I'll let you lash me unless that's Hakeem. Hakeem, will you let me lash you?
Oh my gosh, we should totally do that.
He can lash me. I know that for sure. He could definitely do my lashes. All right. Crystal says, how do you keep the meibomians healthy? Not sure how to spell it.
Meibomium.
It's not meibom.
Bium. So basically, how you keep that lash line healthy, it's wonderful. It's called a lid scrub. You can do a Google search on YouTube. And I know a very dry ophthalmologist is going to tell you how to do it, but I'm going to describe it for you. So you don't have to use a lash cleanser. They will even say use baby shampoo, but
oh no, don't use baby shampoo. That's evil.
Because this is coming from like eye doctors, and they're saying how to
don't use baby shampoo. Oh,
so
you're bad lash artist.
In your hands, you wet your lids, and you're going to wash the lids, right? And you're going to wash the lashes. Right. And then they will even tell you to take a washcloth, but that's not what we're going to tell our clients, because why? It's going to rip out their lashes. And they're going to say, take that washcloth and do the margin of the lid. So you pull it down and do the margins like this and just swipe them. And then you rinse really well. So this is how I tell people who've got really a lot
warm compresses too, right?
Oh yeah. So you use the warm compress after you've cleansed. And why do you use the warm compress? Because remember that my bum it's solidified like shortening
or like cheese.
And we need to melt it, right?
It's so good.
So you put warm compresses on it to melt it, and then it helps to flow. Unfortunately,
it works like spread.
This is like working out, right? You can't just get in shape by doing it once. You have to do it like for a month, morning and night, to see a real difference. There is a treatment called LipiFlow. It's like at Shishi ophthalmologist office.
It milks your eyelids.
It does. It's about $800 for a series of treatment. One of these days I'd like to try that. But what it does is it heats it up, and it presses and milks them, and it heats them at the same time. So it really expresses all those old cells and all the old oil, and it gets the tear film flowing perfectly. But if you want to tell your clients how to do this, you just tell them to wash their lashes as if, just like I explained, just like you tell them every day. Don't be afraid to touch them. Get the cleanser on the lids, get it in the lashes, and then rinse really well. Take the pads of your fingers and squeegee the eye. If they're just doing this model effervescent thing where they're just splashing their face, it's not going to get them clean enough, right? And then afterwards, if they take the extra step, this is how I do it. I pull the lash, I just take a Q-tip, put it in warm water, and just swipe it on the bottom like this.
On the margin of the lid, right? Not on the lashes itself, but on the margin.
On the margin, the water line, right? And then to do the top, it's a little bit more tricky, because if you hold the lid up like this, I'm holding my lashes up and I'm looking in the mirror. It's really, your eye is just good. When you come out with
it, poke yourself.
Q-tip, your eye is automatically going to do that blink reflex and close. So if you kind of close the eye and just expose the lashes like I'm doing, then it's much easier to get that Q-tip and just swipe the top like that. And if they just do that twice a day, it's really, really going to impact the health of their lashes. And so this is something that you can tell to any of your clients that say to you, my eyes are really burning. They're really burning all the time. And you're looking, one of the keys is to look at the whites of the eye. Is it really red and like veiny? That's an indication that there's an interruption of that tear film, and that's what's causing the irritation. See, the eye only has a couple tricks. It's like to get red and to water. And so that's a sign that the eye is in mild distress.
Yeah.
So you can tell them, listen, what helps the eye health is doing a lid scrub twice a day and being a little bit more proactive with cleansing the waterline or the margin. So take a Q-tip, do this, and then take a washcloth or even cotton rounds, put it in some warm water and put it on your lids. The recipe is 10 minutes a day. Nobody's going to do that. It's so hard to get them to change their behavior. But if you tell them, take a cotton rounds, put it on, and then just put it on until it gets cold, and then that's better than nothing, right? And to do that twice a day, that makes an impact. But you have to tell them you have to do it twice a day, and you have to do it for like at least a month, and you have to continue to do it for the rest of your life. You don't throw that one on, but you want them to make a habit of it. But that will impact the health of their lashes. It will help their eyes. They will have to use less eye drops and things like that, and it's really good. Also, your local ophthalmologist will thank you for it because the client will have much cleaner eyes.
Yeah.
And we'll have better reputations because some of the medical field, like optometrists, think that we are doing something that's encouraging our clients to be dirty and it lead to infections and stuff, because the old guard used to say, don't wash them, right? And some places still do, like 24 hours, please. Yeah, you don't have to wait. You can wash them right away.
Peace at Lash got her sound. So says, love you guys and see you at LashCon again. Yes, we will do. Let's have Paul try to do lashes. I honestly pay to watch it. No, if we could charge a lot of money, like $1 million. No, we would do it for free.
We should do it. We should do it. We should
do it. Yeah, it says we should all just get all our partners to give lashing a try. Yes, why not? Get all our partners. Let's get more bros in the industry for sure.
She loves her style.
Hope you guys are well. You look fantastic. Well, thank you. We are doing well. We're very blessed. By the way, there's so much. I'm just going through all these. When a client initially started lashes, seemed very healthy. Over 6 months with blepharitis, it's getting harder and harder to lash because the lashes are getting so fine. Any tips? I put her on a serum.
Okay.
I think you already kind of did.
So Lash Brow Art, I have a question for you. Are you using any kind of magnifiers or loupes or any kind of optics that help you to see the lash line? So that's my first question. If you're not, I'm going to suggest that you do, because I'm not saying, sometimes we can see a lot more with those magnifiers. The second thing is, I would just say everything that I said. It's going to make a huge difference.
We don't have to repeat it. We got it. But but will the serum help too?
The serum will help. Serum will help. Like in my career, I've seen a little bit of this, but not too much. And I've seen people really bounce back from having a better routine with their hygiene. The other thing that I've also noticed is that somebody who has super, super fine lashes, now this is counterintuitive, and I know it's going to sound a little weird, but those people with the shallowest follicles do so much better with volume fans, like pre-made volume fans. Like I have a handful of gals, and they tend to be Asian, and they tend to be a little bit older. Their glands can be a little scarred over, and the lashes are very, very fine. I almost all use pro-made lashes, very fine. And the reason why is because I believe that it spreads the tension out and does not pull as much. So even though it's bigger, I think the way that it's spread, it actually tends to have a preservative effect on the lashes. And how I know this is when I had the salon, I always took pictures. So I have, some of these gals have been coming to me for 10 years, 12 years. And I took pictures of them at the very beginning with classic lashes, because that's all we had in the beginning. And now I take pictures and their lashes do better. They have way more coming in, and they're still fine. And they're like on a 2-weeker. Usually most of my people are 4 weeks, but those gals are 2 weeks. So I would consider using pro-made lashes, or pre-made. It's confusing. The ones that are already done.
Yeah. So let me get on to the next thing here. It says Gabby's Beauty Studio says, yeah, I've been watching your podcast for probably listening more for the last 2 years. And I think I've listened to all of them. Wow. That's impressive because that's a lot of content. That I hope you don't mind. You lost 300 hours of your life, but I'm so happy to be here on your 300th episode. Very, very cool. Thank you. No, that's great. Abby's awesome. Let's see. Gabby, I'm sorry. I'm mixed. Yeah. Forgot the G. And she bought us a badge. Thank you. That's so sweet. Very, very cute. Sweet. How do you prevent it from solidifying though? Oh, the Crystal Cook Artistry asked about that. I think we kind of talked about that.
The oil?
Oil from the meibomian gland.
Okay, so it's kind of like, it's a long-term solution. It's kind of like acne. How do you keep the acne, how do you keep the bacteria and the oil flowing, right?
Yeah.
With the skin, we could do something like a microdermabrasion or like a tretinoin or like a tretinoin, tretinoin. And what that does is it grows the skin cells and helps push everything out. So it's the same kind of concept with the meibomian glands. We need to flush that little gland. If you get really nerdy and you look at a cross section, like, so I'm taking my glasses off and looking at the eye. If you can imagine tiny little lines that go down from the eye, those they look like little worms. They look like little tubes. And if you had a magnifying glass and you look closely, those meibomian glands would look like a cluster of grapes, like a long cluster of grapes. And each of those little grape pods is where the oil, they're called alveoli, and the oil is made in those little sacs. Now, when everything is healthy, the oil is flowing, the skin cells are shedding, so there's no obstruction on the margin of the lid. It's open and the oil comes out. When there's a problem, and it happens with age,
it happens old with people age. Like me.
You know how our skin cells, the turnover of our skin cells slow down? When you've got a baby, the baby is producing a brand new set of skin every 28 days. And as we get older, it can even take up to 60 days for that turnover to happen. And there's a direct correlation between how fast those cells are being produced and growing at the bottom to how fast they're coming up the top. And it's very similar with the margin. So if there's not a lot of flow, it's like when you get constipated, everything backs up, right? So if the oil changes and it's not flowing so much and it's solid, it can't get out. There's also obstruction at the lash line. They're skin cells and they can form like a seal over. That's why we exfoliate. We remove that layer so that the follicles can absorb moisture and they can express the oil. It's the same thing. So the way that you make it not solid anymore and make it flow is that you need to heat it up. So that's where the compress comes in, but it has to be done like twice a day because it's constantly, being impacted, right? It's like your bowels or your gut. You have to be eating, you have to be moving, you have to be, the fiber and, that kind of stuff. You have to be doing that. And then you also have to be expressing the lash line. You have to be removing that. So if you see, when you're doing somebody's lashes and you see bumps on there, remove them. That's why I use the OcuSoft.
Do you pop them?
I pop the lid.
Oh, not
you
the
don't
lid.
don't pop anything on the
you
eye.
like little needle and just pop it?
No, you don't do that. Never do that.
No.
Never do that.
Okay, don't listen to me.
Don't even say that. Never with the needle near the eye.
No. Okay.
You take a Q-tip, you take a micro swab, and you take the OcuSoft at the cleanser. You can even do this with like lash cleansers, but if they might sting the eye if they're not designed to get into the eye, right? But you can. Baby shampoo, you can use this. And you're just going to swipe that micro swab. So when I'm lifting up the lashes and I'm cleaning the top row, I always clean the margin. And I just take a little with no pressure and just swipe that micro swab over that line. It helps to remove any capping. Google capped meibomian glands and you'll see something. I mean, if you're the kind that likes those pimple popper pictures, you'll like it. He can't stand it. He always gets
I can't. I literally almost want to throw up.
But here's the thing: if you keep scrubbing that little bump on that cap of meibomian gland will shed. and
Yeah.
it will be open. And so what I like to do is I always take a picture. If the client comes in with that, I take a picture with the cap on it, and then I cleanse it and I show them afterwards. I say, see this? You don't want to see these on there because it's hindering the glands from
Yeah.
producing the oil, and it's affecting your lash health. So you really want to get this area. It might be a little uncomfortable to do it at first, especially because your eyes are going to be irritated, but it's really going to have a long-term effect. So I hope that's helpful.
All right. We may get off the blepharitis stuff because I'm bored. No, I was kidding.
Okay,
Does love this stuff. I'm like, I feel like I have nothing to say, which I don't. But I don't have anything to say about this. But I think we should just say, someone was saying not want to be contradictory. It's more Burrid. It says not to contradict, but she retails lash shampoo and also uses lash shampoo on her services. But what is wrong about using baby shampoo to wash your extensions? Because in the industry, we hear you should never allow the lash shampoo to touch your eyes because it might kill you. Right?
Okay, so first of all, we can all be friends.
Okay.
I'm friends with people who say never with the baby shampoo, and
Yep.
I'm friends with people who use the baby shampoo.
And most don't at this point, but
so
yeah.
here's the thing. It is not formulated for lashes. It is formulated for a baby's scalp. Okay. That being said, it's pretty, you're using it off label, but if it's safe enough to get into a newborn's eyes, it's therefore theoretically safe for it to get into grown people's eyes. I did write Johnson & Johnson, and they said it's not designed for that. However, talking to any ophthalmologist or any optometrist, they will tell you a great cleanser of choice would be a baby shampoo. Why? Because it's
so
a
safe.
surfactant, it's safe, it won't cause irritation. But some people will say, well, because it's not formulated for lashes and the eyes, you shouldn't use it. And I can see the logic.
And those are the people who use Flonase, though, to help the allergy.
No, I mean, if you have...
Don't use baby shampoo, but go ahead and put Flonase all over that eyelid.
If you are a manufacturer or you sell lashes or you're a brand, I can understand why people would say, don't use baby shampoo because they have a product to sell, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. And it's formulated for the eyes area, so it's probably in the sense a little smarter.
Now, there's two lies or fallacies about baby shampoo that I'd love to put to rest. One of them is that it's got numbing agents in it.
Yes.
And it doesn't stop it from stinging. You just don't feel it, which is not true. There's no numbing agent in the...
Because that's a medicine, by the way. And there's
no... you can't do it on a newborn. Newborns absorb, and they're so small. I mean, if you put numbing, it could be fatal. Like if you put lidocaine and put enough of it on your body with saran wrap,
and it would have to be
die.
It had to be FDA would have to then.
There's no numbing cream.
But I'm just saying that it'd be considered a drug, and now the FDA would be involved, which they're not with shampoos, right? Yeah. Shampoos are just for the head and hair and your eyeballs.
Yeah, so that's that one.
What's the second one?
Actually, I'm confusing that. I'm conflating it with dandruff shampoo.
Okay,
so we'll move with dandruff shampoo, but that's
does the lash wash burn? Someone asked. This is the Text Lash Company.
It depends on which lash wash it is.
Yeah, because we've actually seen one that burnt really bad, right? There's one company we knew about.
There are some that are designed, to be cleansed with the eye closed. Some, and it just depends on what the properties are. For example, there's ingredients like tea tree oil or like melaleuca, which has a very antibacterial, antifungal effect. So it is popular in some brands, but in some others, if you don't wash it off all the way, or some people who are sensitive to it, it can cause a stinging. And it doesn't mean that it's not opening up those glands, but most people will not use it if it's stinging because they associate that with it not being good. So I would say that's like a marketing thing. I mean, sometimes very effective cleansers will sting. It just depends on what it is and what it's designed for.
Cool. By the way, if I am trying to get through all the questions, I may skip some, so don't take it personally if I do. It's not because I don't think it's good. It's maybe because either we've already talked about it, or we've dug really deep on that topic and we want to get to maybe something else. Marley did say something about the bumps and menopause.
Bumps and fine lashes due to menopause. And she asked her how often she washed her lashes and found she wasn't washing them every day.
And that was the main culprit.
It's true. Even if they say that they're washing them every day, I believe them. But if their lash line is dirty, but I believe that they're not doing it effectively. They may be just getting under the shower and letting it get, or they might just be splashing, but without getting in there. And they're telling the truth. They just need to be educated. So, yeah.
And then Marla also asked,
can menopause be the cause of fine lashes? Well, during menopause, a lot of things change. The skin can become drier. There's less oil being produced, and there are some changes. So yes, the answer to that is that there can be changes with the hair due to menopause. It's also the same with thyroid. Yes, that's a definite possibility.
Ocean Baby asks, is this going to be saved at IG? It will be on both. We're going to save both, God willing. If I end this, and I've never done. No, we've used it actually during the COVID. We did this, but that said, we did do a bunch of YouTubes.
So
but
Claudia
yes,
Pita said yes, she's seen the problem more on clients that have used extensions for years and that they were told not to wash the lashes. For sure, you're going to see.
Yeah, of course. Viva Lashes, who we just saw in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas said.
Viva Las Lashes.
Las Lashes. I love that you get nerdy tests. I learned so much from you last month. I love passing it on to my clients. They're amazed at how knowledgeable I am, and it's all because of you. Yeah. I mean, really, one of the benefits of listening, not just us, but other podcasts, is you're going to get a lot of information and a lot of things that you can then use as to be the professional and sound like you're the boss.
It becomes you. And then you sound like the amazing professional you are. I want in turn to use that information to help the next generation. I want you guys to pass this on. You guys are going to be the leaders at the next generation. You already are doing amazing stuff. Everything that I share with you, I want you to use it to grow your business, to grow your professionalism, and also to help others.
Are we going to be saving this on our podcast? We're going to save it everywhere. There'll be 3 places. You can watch it on YouTube, you can watch it on Instagram, or you can go back to your old traditional and listen. By the way, this will not be episode 300, sadly, because right now we already dropped 300 last week, but we are just doing this after 300 just to celebrate.
Can I tell you a great movie we saw last night?
Oh, yeah. Sisu.
Okay. If you like John Wick, some people don't like that violence, but if you like John Wick, if you like Quentin Tarantino, you will like Sisu. It's Sisu. It is a Finnish film, but it's in English, and it is like Nazi killing time. And it's just, it's fantastic. It's really, really good.
Very violent.
It's very violent.
Very
if that does not float your boat, that's okay.
Yeah. Don't, if you don't like seeing a knife go through a guy's head or head's blown off, don't go see it.
But if you hate Nazis, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because there's a whole bunch of Nazi lovers out there.
Yeah.
I tell people, this is from Viva Las Lashes again. I tell people that you look like a kid in a meeting Santa when you get nerdy. Yes, she does. Adriano 683.
Everyone always in my heart. I don't care where you are from. Always with love for everything.
Oh, okay.
What a sweet message.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Love for you too, my friend.
Crystal also bought us a badge. Wow, they got 3 badges. This is really cool. Sierra Beauty Raquel says, how can you tell the difference between an allergic reaction and contact dermatitis? Good question, because they're the same.
Yeah. Okay. So how earlier we said that we're humble enough to change our opinions on things.
Yeah, we did this song.
So it used to be the allergy. It's an allergy, and you had to be exposed to it 3 times. And part of that, when I talked about contact dermatitis, and it was part of the picture. Yes, but what I learned after talking with more experts,
Dr. Zyrus was the big
one, who is a specialist in allergic.
It's a dermatologist who specializes
in Ohio. What I learned is that it is extremely rare to have a true allergy to cyanoacrylate. It's possible, but
we used to say 3 to 5%. It's not even that high. He says lower than that.
But what happens is what we mostly encounter in our clientele and our day-to-day business is allergic contact dermatitis. Irritant contact dermatitis. Yeah, sorry. It's irritant contact dermatitis. So it's not necessarily a true allergy. A true allergy is extremely rare. So it's classic contact dermatitis, meaning the eyelids are swollen, there's redness, there's puffiness, but it's so severe that the swelling starts to extend past the orbit of the eye. Usually it's just the eyes, right? If it starts extending past this and it takes close to 2 weeks for it to come down, it's a good chance that it's allergic.
Are super allergic. We've only had maybe 3 or 4 people like that
in our whole career. So that's 18 years.
18 years
but it is much more common for it to be irritant contact dermatitis. And that it's an irritant contact dermatitis. It looks the same on the outside, right? But the people who have the irritant will begin to not need the dexamethasone, the steroid, the Tobradex. They will not need to use that over time. If they're like, oh, I didn't bring it, I forgot it, it's no big deal. Because if it was a true allergy, they would have it every single time. So, can you please say the name again of the lash cleanser you use, please? It is called AccuSoft.
AccuSoft.
There is AccuSoft regular, which has a navy blue label. We used to use that in
it's all backwards right now, but
but that does require it to be rinsed off. This one does not. It can stay on the eye. It can condition the eye.
You can drink it too after meal treat.
Drink it
after meal treats.
No, you cannot.
I
do not drink it.
I drink a lot.
But you know what you can drink? You can drink hypochlorous acid.
And clean your innards. Yes.
Yeah, I love hypochlorous acid as well. Okay.
And by the way, Claudia
Petia. I'm sorry.
You probably hate us, but she says it's time to go to bed.
Okay.
And thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yeah, thanks
Love
for being here. And Cindy Allen also, who wanted to congratulate us for 300 episodes. Can't wait till LashCon 2023.
It's Lash Guy Pro. It's Chris, right? We met in Austin.
Yeah, and actually, I think Chris, I sent you some times to be on a podcast. So
Chris has a very
look for that.
Face. He does.
He does. He's a handsome guy. He is. Yes.
Okay.
I wish I looked like Chris.
Sarah Beauty Raquel. Instead, you look like the Monopoly guy.
I look like the Monopoly man. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, love. She goes into detail on her allergy course. See if you can get a link to her online class. Oh yeah. There's a lot of information on that.
I gotta get the allergy course online. We used to release that every 6 months but now I think we're just gonna put it on permanently out there so people can buy it and watch it. So. Oh, Marley bought us, man. This is 4 badges in one day. Thank you, Marley. It's very sweet. I'm so excited to meet you guys. I'm so excited to meet you guys in Austin. Yes, we met Crystal in Austin, and hopefully LashCon.
We are going to see Crystal in Austin.
No, we saw her in Austin this last week. We were just there. We're going back again in June to teach at Shelby's place. Yes.
It's it takes a little
can we see it again? I'm not sure. That's
the lash. The bottle of lash.
If you want to see the AccuSoft, you can.
AccuSoft Platinum.
It's backwards, but maybe you can screenshot that.
It's about $20 a pop.
Yeah, so
it's a little pricey, but
my son it's worth it. Is a great. Thank you, learning to play drums.
Right. Good luck with that. Yeah, our daughter had drums.
Yeah, our daughter did too. I liked them more than she did.
Oh my gosh, the drums. Yes. I mean, it's all good if that's what they want.
All right. Any other questions down here? Let's get back to YouTube, where we have got our
not to contradict. Okay, Beautylicious. What are you looking forward to most with all the new things coming to LashCon this year?
Well, what was cool is I went there today to the hotel, and we got some new stuff. Like I'm talking to a furniture company about setting up a lounge, because one of the big things that people said LashCon, I finally get to say something. This is kind of cool. This is
go for
seriously. She could literally talk all hours, all day about this stuff about lashes. It's really her favorite thing. But real quick, we'll talk, and we probably wrap this up soon.
Not everybody's a party person, right?
No, not everyone's a party person. Yeah, some people want to just connect, and so some people said, "Hey, enough of the parties. I'm just here to learn." Right. And so, yes, we are giving you more classes this year. We're doing 3 during lunch. So if you're one of those hardcore learners, you can get a quick bite, come back and take 1 of 3 classes during lunch this year, which is added. Plus, we're adding 1 more session on Sunday afternoon. So instead of 2 breakouts, we'll have 3 breakout sessions. And we have the lounge so you can network and connect with people. So if you're not you're like, man, I really in the evenings don't want to go parties. Don't worry. We'll have the lounge open so you can go there. And what we're going to do, 1 of 2 things. We have during the day, it'll be like coffee probably and a area where it's going to be an area where health and wellness. So we're going to have massage and different things there you can go do. And then in the evening, I'm thinking, we're not sure, maybe we'll set up a bar, and if people use it, they can go and have a drink and sit down with some friends and talk.
Quieter tone, not so raucous.
Yeah.
And the other thing we just talked about today is the podcast room.
Yeah, we're looking to this. We're going to talk to a lot of our podcasting friends and see if they'd be interested in Beautylicious, and see if they'd like to do a podcast there. So we'll have a room set specifically for podcasting, and then you bring guests in. You can interview all the different influencers and lash artists, all that. And so we're looking to do that. That would be we'll see. We're spitballing. We also have a Instagram room like we did last year, but it'll be bigger. And in that same room, we will also have some games and things you can do to network and hang out and play games. So maybe ping pong or pool or different stuff. So we're ideas so you can interact and hang out. So if you're like, I don't want, and we have a much bigger trade show. The trade show this year has 112 booths and it's huge. It's like 40 more booths than last year.
So amazing, you guys. It's like going to be like a real conference.
Yeah, real trade show.
Like,
so yeah. And so that's going to be on one side, and then across the way, there's this huge foyer. You go over, and then there's the breakout rooms, and then there's our main room that has all the stuff that you can come in, speakers and all the main sessions. And then we have upstairs, you take an escalator upstairs. We'll have 2 more breakout rooms, as well as we have sponsor suites this year. So sponsors, a few have their own little places. They can do classes, do trainings, do party, networking events, whatever they wanted to use that room for. So we're going to have that. And then, and then we also have, I'm hoping we may do a movie night. So if you don't want to go to the party, you can go watch a movie, or if I can have my way, and it's getting close to where I think we might be able to do it, is do a escape room. Have like maybe 1 or 2 escape rooms set up.
We have my balloon room.
What's a balloon room? No. What's a balloon room? Tess wants to have a room where you have to walk through this balloon room to get to.
It's like a snow globe, but balloons in there.
We don't know. We were working on it because it has to work.
Amazing.
Yeah, we got some fun stuff. Plus, our party this year, there will be no Lash buses or party buses
because it's literally a walk across the street, like
2-minute walk across the street. So we can't.
No, it's not even across the street. It's across a little thing, a little pathway.
Yeah, you just cross over and you can hang out. It's going to be at the Marriott, and it's going to be amazing over there. It's going to be huge. We have a lot of room, bigger casino area, a big, huge nightclub set up. It's going to be a lot of fun for those. That's going to be the welcome party on Saturday night. But we also have a party by My Brand Lashes. They're hosting on Friday night. Then we have the Lashy Awards and EBL's yearly karaoke party. And then Monday night, we have Lash Bomb and Lash Anarchist hosting another party with the PJ party. So we have parties still. We're not getting rid of those, but we're trying to add more things. It's kind of like build your own con. Like there's going to be all these things
Coachella,
to do.
You pick your thing. Anama 26 Franco asks, can we hear this episode again? And the answer is yes.
Yes, it will be both on our podcast as well as on Instagram and YouTube. So we'll have everywhere. It'll be all over the place. Also, someone asked about, how about a jumping room? Yes, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We might bring back the jumping or the bounce house. That was really fun. And the place we're at now has more room, so maybe we'll get a bigger bounce house. We'll see.
Have people from Spain and Romania.
Wow,
that's amazing.
That's very cool.
One of them says lots of beer.
Lots of beer.
And water. Yes. There will be beer.
Yes, there's beer.
You don't have to drink if you don't want to.
You don't have to, though, if you don't want to. And yeah, bring the bounce house. Yeah, I think we'll definitely want to bring the bounce house. What else? It said making time to. Mickey Mouse. We have season tickets, so we go enough. But
it's 10-minute walk.
And by the way,
the shuttle.
We are working on Disneyland's going to give us a 10% discount code 3 months before LashCon. So sometime in July, we'll be able to put a discount code so you can go buy your pass to Disneyland. So you can come here before or after Disneyland to go to before or after LashCon, you go to Disneyland, and at least you save a little money. It'll be a group discount code that we get they won't give it to me until 3 months out. I asked, please now. They're like, nope, sorry, you have to wait.
So there's just a caveat with our season passes. The reason why we have it is because it's one of our ways that we connect with our adult children. It's like
most of you have baby kids that go there. We go with our grown daughter.
We go there because it was always part of their childhood. It's like one of those things now that we look forward to connecting with them on. We have to be on purpose about that. So.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, just as a heads up, because we should probably be wrapping this up. But just so you guys know where we're going to be, like this coming weekend. New York. We're going to be in New York with the Lash Bash.
And then Connecticut.
Then in a few weeks, actually, Christine, if you don't know Christine from Island Lash, she's hosting a social what's it called again? This is social or something like this. It's basically a marketing social media day, May 22nd. And she still has, I think, a few tickets. So if you want to come and hang out there, we'd love to see you guys there because it'll be really cool. And we're not teaching technically, but we'll be there and the support. Let's get social. Thank you.
Thank you. Delicious.
Thank you. So they're going to be teaching about TikTok, guys, and they are the king and queen of TikTok, so they know their stuff.
We do know their stuff.
There's Christine's still here. Wow, I'm shocked. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, because I had this conversation with you earlier. I said, you have to remember what people's stuff
I
is called.
know. I forget.
know?
I feel so bad. Sorry, Christine.
We totally love you. We
It's
totally love
but
you.
we're gonna be there, and
Let's get social.
Yeah, I know. You got from a couple of places.
I know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just
You
saying,
just yelled.
"Yay, let's get social.
Okay. So we'll be there.
Here, Christine.
Hey,
woo-hoo.
this is my little thing. I play with this all the time when I'm at work. And this is you get this from Christine. I don't know if she gives it out. You have to buy it, or is it just a gift she
Her
gets to
logo
people.
is pineapple.
Yeah, it's very
Who
cute.
lives on a pineapple under the sea?
Yeah. SpongeBob SquarePants, that's his name. But anyhow, we'll be there. But one of these we thought we'd help contribute, because it's really going to be about you sitting down with masters who teach you stuff. We may talk about podcasting. So if you want to come and learn about podcasting and ask questions and all that stuff, we'll be there to do that. That's kind of like what we're thinking. Otherwise, we're just going to be there to be your guest, to help check you in and
hang out with you and meet you.
Yeah, and just be there for moral support for Christine, because she's been there for us since the beginning, guys. Literally since 2019.
My oldest lash bestie.
Yeah.
My girl.
So anyhow, she's been amazing, and we owe so much to her. I bring my husband. I'm trying to get tickets for both of us. Is that for Let's Get Social? Because I'm sure Christine would love to have you both there. That'd be cool. We want to sell this thing out.
We also have a party only ticket for LashCon, if that's for LashCon.
Or and for LashCon, we have the party only ticket. So if your significant other doesn't want to sit in classes about lashes and business, he or she can go do whatever they want, and then you can bring your significant other can come to the parties at night by buying just a ticket. So
yeah, Christine is a lot of fun, man.
Oh wait, Christine is as much fun as a party bus. Yes, she is.
I try to film a video of her fake falling, because that's just a thing that we do together, and have a little collection of these videos where we fall and do it in slow motion. So maybe one day we'll show it on the big screen at LashCon. Yes, exactly. Oh, Ashley is sharing her discount code for Let's Get Social. Ashley 100. I think we have one too. I think it's LashCast 100. I forgot. I'm so sorry, Christine. I probably should have been posting that more often. I know I've talked about it. Hey, we had it on the podcast. Why are you mad at me? Because I told you. I said you better. But you know what? Better support Christine. No, you better remember. I better remember. I have. That said, Christine, if you want, you can share Beautylicious 100, or Ashley 100, sorry, or you can use LashCast 100 to save $100 off that ticket, and that would be very, very cool. Soupy Lash is volunteering her husband again. Yes, we need husbands. Yes. We need other people. We got probably 50 people already signed up, so we're going to try to get 60, 70 volunteers this year. I mean, we're going to have like 15 paid staff. I think he was a good volunteer. So yes, please do. Let's see. I'm in Hawaii for LashCon. Oh, Ocean Baby's saying LashCon. Ocean Baby, I am so excited to see you in Hawaii. No, she's coming to LashCon from Hawaii, but hopefully we'll see. She's coming to Hawaii. Coming to Hawaii. Like, I can't wait to see Hawaii. Coming to Hawaii for LashCon. Well, Hawaii won't be in LashCon. It's going to be Lash Bash, but hopefully we'll be disappointed. It'll still be fun. Yes. What are the volunteers for from Peace at Lash? Volunteers are people who help us basically run LashCon. So they work 10 hours over the 3 days, and in exchange you get a free ticket, and basically you don't get swag and you don't get prizes, and you do have to help us work. So there is a trade-off there. But you can always apply. If you haven't bought your ticket already, you can go ahead and apply for that. So we'll just see. We like I said, we already got a lot of race. So I'm not looking for a lot more people. I think you can always apply. At least put your name in the hat. So I'm going to LashCon and Lash Bash in Hawaii. She's going to both. Awesome. I love the name Ocean Baby, by the way. That's a really cool name. Any name with baby. You make bees and babies. That's it. Yeah. So bees and babies for Tuss, and she's good to go. Oh my gosh, hour and a half. I'm doing this. Who's been here for an hour and a half? Has anyone stuck through this whole thing? Because I am so blown away. I mean, Christine was here from the beginning. And Marley. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I'm going to look at who's here. What a great name, Lash Bro Joe. Christine's been here the whole time. Lash Bro? It's been pretty impressive. Fantastic. Yeah. Lash Bro Joe, hey. And then Beautylicious been here. Ocean Baby's been here. Christy Lee. And yeah. So thank you guys. You guys are best. You guys are our friends. Thank you so much. And definitely, if you come to anything, like we got coming up, we got Christine's thing coming up in a few weeks. We're going to be in Austin, New York this weekend. But then after that, we have the premiere show in Orlando. So we'd love to see you there.
There's 3 days of trainings with speakers, amazing lineup. And if you want that, you'll see that in our show notes. But we're going to be hanging out there. We'd love to meet you. If you've never come to anything we've done, please do that. Then we will be in Vegas. Sorry, did I miss the info for Vegas?
Pro asked it. Missed the
No, you didn't miss anything yet, but we'll be in Vegas on June 25th. And that will be a party, which we mentioned earlier, with Shelby from Lash Boss Radio. And then, actually, we haven't mentioned this really too much, but we're going to be actually in Reno teaching a business course with PLA
Paris Lash Academy.
late part of July. And then that's it for us. We're done. Our daughter's getting married, and then we're going to take a couple months off just to work on LashCon and get ready for that. And we'll be back mid-October, 14th, 16th for LashCon. And then we get back into it. Then we have trainings again. We'll be in hopefully Utah. We're looking at Utah to be teaching out Utah in November, California, Los Angeles in December. And then next year, we might be going to Australia again. So if you're an Aussie, we're looking to go out there again. So we can't wait. And maybe if we get invited back to London, we're hoping that someone invites us back to London this week, because we absolutely love London and might move there one day. No, actually, I think we're going to move to Hawaii.
I'm going to watch the coronation.
That's right. Oh, I forgot. We missed Hawaii. We're going to be in Hawaii early July 7th, 8th, teaching a class. And we have Lash Bash up there. And I just remember we also going to be at another, was it in June in Laguna Beach, supporting our friend Alona. They have another social that's kind of like a not pseudo Lash Bash, but it's Lash Bash with a bunch of brands all coming together at Alona's in Laguna Beach, which is actually really cool place to see, eat, hang out. Beautiful space. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Crazy expensive place to live, but beautiful. So anyhow, I think that's all the things we have coming up for us this year. It's been a crazy busy year for us, but we get to see so much of many of you. And by the way, if you come to something, please come up and say hi. I get all the time someone will DM and go, I was at the event. I didn't want to bother you. Didn't want to bother you.
You guys are the reason why we do this.
Yeah.
And to have that interaction with you is the reason. It's just validation.
Yeah.
And it fuels us. So
when we meet you, talk to you, we get to learn from you. We get to hear about your problems, what you've learned, what you're doing well, what maybe areas where you have struggles. All that's good, helpful feedback for us so that we can come back on our podcast and share those things with you guys and help you with your business. But we need your feedback to get that. Otherwise, we're just talking to ourselves and maybe helping no one, which is not really what the idea is about. All right.
All right, you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you. It's been a blast. And I'm now
going to the badges, my friends.
Yes. Thank you for the badges. That was amazing. I got one badge here and there, but we got 4 or 5 today. So that was really special. And we will be, hopefully, by the way, guys, soon we will be doing YouTube like this regularly. It won't be live, but we will be recording and posting on YouTube on a regular weekly basis. So you'll get a lot of content. And my idea is we might have a grease board back here so Tess can do drawings.
We're going to have a lot of fun with that. We're going to get nerdy.
Yeah, get nerdy. And we'll do it again. So have a good night. Love you guys. And we will see you again very soon. And guys, please come up with a center acrylic adhesive. Sorry, I just saw another question.
Not bad.
We
probably not.
But... No, we won't. I mean, the truth is there's already plenty of center acrylic adhesives out there. They're great, right? I mean, we don't need another one from us. I mean, just try a few or come to LashCon. You'll get tons at LashCon. Or you can go to H booth and try their glue. But before you know it, you'll find your favorite new glue. I guarantee you.
I guarantee it.
With 80 to maybe 100 lash brands, there's no way you're going to walk out of LashCon not feeling like you found what you want or need. Okay, I keep saying goodbye because I have a hard time saying goodbye. So love you guys. We'll do this again sometime soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wow.
And